So guys, today we got to talk about something, and Paige Bueckers in an interview literally exposed just how bad the referee's problem is. Like, she just exposed how bad it was in a pre-game interview for the game.
Angel Reese didn't even bother wiping the sweat. Seconds after sealing Chicago's 87-81 stunner over Minnesota on July 12th, 2025, she planted her sneakers on the baseline, stared into the ABC lens, and served a line hotter than the United Center concession nachos. Somebody said we wasn't the best young core in the league, we are. Those 10 words ricocheted through X like a rogue fire alarm. Half the timeline cheered, the other half rage-quoted. ESPN producers fist-bumped, content for days. But that mic drop was only the matchstick. And what flickered next turned into a brush fire. Caitlin Clark entered her sophomore season carrying the heaviest offensive load in the league. No player touches the ball more or bends a defense faster. Yet she trots to the stripe just 3.8 times per night. A paltry 19th among regulars, the numbers clash so violently with the eye test that even casual viewers notice. The more she drives, the fewer whistles she hears.
And I'm here to tell you, in the last 4 games, Caitlin Clark has only been to the foul line maybe 6 times. How do the most ball-dominant point guard only go to the foul line 6 damn times? I don't know what the situation is, if they just don't see the calls or they're just ignoring the calls. At the end of the day, there is a systematic issue wrong with the WNBA, the current state of their referees, and Caitlin Clark.
Clark's first month read like a medic's clipboard. Quad bruise here, hip pointer there, and now a nagging right groin flare-up after only 13 appearances. Her brother Colin finally boiled over, firing off, then deleting, a post that blamed non-calls and cheap shots for her latest limp. But numbers alone can't convey sound. The sickening thud of a shoulder in the ribs, or the hollow echo when she hits the hardwood. For that, fans turned up the volume on national television and heard something impossible to ignore. But the stat sheet couldn't scream. The broadcast team could, when the mics blew up.
He said that Paige Bueckers has come out and says she needs to relearn how to play defense while fouling more, because you can get away with everything with these referees. She literally said she had to forget. So basically, she had to relearn how to play defense while fouling. So, you know, everything you learn about defense, how to play while not fouling, how to move your feet, how to do all this. She had to throw out all the good defensive fundamentals that she'd learned. And now she had to learn to go foul.
July 13th, Fever versus Wings, ESPN primetime. Former All-Star Rebecca Lobo counted Clark's wounds in real time. There's a grab, there's a hold, there's another grab, every single one of them a foul. Partner Ryan Ruocco could only grunt in disbelief as the replays rolled. Within 11 minutes, hashtag blow the whistle trended across 11 countries. That single possession became a Zapruder reel for Women's Hoops Twitter. JJ Quinterly yanks Clark's forearm, rides her hip, slaps her wrist, hip checks her on the gather. 0 whistles until the 5th hit. The next morning, social feeds overflowed with stitched-together videos titled "Let M Play" and "This is Basketball." The audience had found its voice, but what it needed was a player willing to echo it. Paige Bueckers breaks the code. 2 nights later, in the same arena,
the worst referees in sports are WNBA refs. There's NFL fans right now going, "Duh, bleep? What? Did you see the refs chilling for the Chiefs again last year?" And look, the referees in the NFL are god-awful, all right? But at least at times it doesn't seem like they're turning a blind eye to potential injury, for crying out loud.
Paige Bueckers stood behind a courtside backdrop smelling of Gatorade and glare. Instead of the usual rookie cliches, she dropped dynamite. Offense or defense, they just let more physicality go up here. You can get away with stuff that was an automatic whistle in college, she explained, adding that she'd relearned defense by fouling first and asking questions later. The quote rocketed through Threads, X, Reddit, TikTok. On Discord servers full of hardcore fans, someone screen captured the interview and labeled it the Paige Papers. Instant classic. Bueckers wasn't some fringe contributor complaining about calls. She was the #1 pick, a UConn icon, and, thanks to an early all-star nod, the league's newest marketing gem.
Right here, they're talking about this right here, where JJ was holding the arm, okay? Then they're talking about this moment right here too, right? She's reaching through the body, reaching both sides, both arms through the body right here. So they're talking about this one. They're talking about right here on the swat down. It looked like she hit her hand just a tad bit here. She was calling this a foul. This is Rebecca Lobo talking, right? She called this a foul. And then we have this hit right here off JJ Quinterly, right on the arm right here. She calling this a foul too, all right?
Her admission made every previous whisper sound like a siren. And the league didn't even have 24 hours to brace for the next flashpoint, the Dallas debacle. July 13th had already birthed one highlight. July 15th birthed the meme. In a 102-83 Fever win, Clark logged 14 points and 13 assists, but only 4 free throws, despite 9 drives that ended with audible body contact. ESPN's camera caught her shaking her head at official Michael Price after a 2-hand shove went unwhistled. Price jogged away. Cue the social media autopsy. Fox News clipped Lobo's on-air play-by-play.
I don't know. At this point, maybe NBA referees need to just ref Caitlyn games. You know, no disrespect to nobody else, but hell, that's the only one everybody looking at anyways. They need to just do Caitlyn games, bro. Because at this point, the way that they're missing these calls are just, it's starting to change the outcome of the game, and it's starting to look very bad, bro. I mean, very, very, very bad. And I don't know, bro. I don't know. Something has to be done. Let's pull up this article right now, dog.
Grab, hold, grab, all fouls. And the clip hit 1.2 M views before lunch. Meanwhile, Women's Fast Break noted it was Clark's 12th appearance of a season already smudged by bruises when the buzzer sounded. Clark still smiled through post-game interviews, crediting teammates for moving the ball well. But the visible welt across her left tricep told the truer story. The brightest star was taking hockey checks on hardwood. If nightly punishment is the new normal, what's that doing to the bodies involved? And the business model propping them up? The body count grows. Clark's injury tally reads like a pop quiz no physio wants. Hip pointer, quad bruise, left groin strain, now right groin irritation, all in a 3-month window. She isn't alone. League concussion protocol activations are up, soft tissue tweaks are spiking, and trainers whisper of NBA-style minutes for NHL-style hits. Bueckers knows the cost better than most. An ACL tear stole her 2022-23 at UConn.
She had to learn to go foul. Like, that is, in my opinion, one of the craziest statements I've ever heard a player ever. Like, you can see it here, so I'm not the only one. I couldn't find the clip. Ryan and Rebecca go and extend a rip at the foul issues. Absolutely unbelievable. Good criticism. For Paige to say she had to relearn how to defend to be less careful about fouling. That's not basketball. Like, people literally say, oh, it's physical basketball. No, you're just going around hacking people. You're just going around hacking people. That's not foul. That's not defense. Going around hacking people.
This picture that I just came across, I'm like, what are we doing? Kathy Engelbert, she came out. It ain't been that long ago, like 2 weeks ago. Refereeing's pretty good in this league. In what league? What league allows this? Can you tell me what kind of a move that Ryan Howard's doing here to Caitlin Clark? What is that move?
A concussion in early June already sidelined her 4 WNBA games. She's publicly mapped out a recovery routine worthy of an Olympic cyclist. Cold tub, hot tub, manual therapy, sleep discipline. Every day just to stay upright. If 2 megastars are rationing steps in July, what will August feel like? Even Clark's own camp is rattled. Colin Clark's deleted post accused refs of slow-motion sabotage, hinting at cumulative damage rather than one dirty play. The family rarely vents in public. That deletion shouted louder than any staying tweet. Yet bodies are only half the equation. Wallets hang in the balance too. Motive, money, and an ugly theory. Follow the cash, and the questions multiply. Opening weekend saw nearly 90% of arenas filled. Clark's sophomore debut peaked at 3.1 M viewers, the most-watched regular season game in 25 years. Corporate partners flocked like honeybees. Expansion fees hit $250 million, and suddenly everyone called women's hoops a growth stock. So why risk the goose? League insiders shoot back 3 theories. Veteran resentment. Some vets privately bristle at Clark's instant endorsement deals. More bumps equals welcome to the league tax. Drama sells a little blood, and spectacle keeps casual fans glued. Wrestling logic in a basketball show. Old school pride.
Becca Lobo and Ryan Ruocco was on the air last night speaking about this game, and I'm here to tell you they was super duper mad, bruh. Let's pull it up right now. Articles has come out about Rebecca Lobo unloading on the WNBA referees, literally counting the fouls out on TV. That's a foul, that's a foul, that's a foul. Guys, this thing is getting spooky, and I'm here to tell you, it's going to keep getting spooky, man, until Kathy do something.
Coaches who grew up under hand check rules fear an NBA light whistle would soften the product. Las Vegas coach Becky Hammon, after a controversial loss to Washington, all but confirmed the culture clash. I'd have challenged 7 more calls if they let me. Right now it's rugby with a rim, and nobody knows what's legal. Her rant cost her a 5-figure fine, worth every penny to the frustrated faithful. But public scoldings alone won't stem a trend. The league now teeters at a tipping point. The tipping point. With social hashtags raging and broadcast partners nudging, the Players Association quietly floated radical fixes. Borrow NBA officiating crews for marquee weekends, adopt FIBA's freedom of movement points of emphasis mid-season, or add a second coach's challenge to curb game-changing no-calls. No proposal is official, but agents are already whispering pilot program in negotiations rooms. At the same time, Clark continues to defy math. She's second in assists, 4th in steal rate, and became the fastest rookie ever to 200 points and 100 assists in 12 games flat, according to Basketball Reference splits. Imagine the stat line if she also got the whistle of, say, Eric Ogunbowl. Yet each night of high-wire artistry risks a crash landing. One misstep on an uncalled hip check and the league's rating juggernaut could vanish in a stretcher. Marketers know it. Trainers feel it. The fans can't unsee it now that Bueckers said the quiet part aloud. So how does a league protect its icons without neutering its brand of grit? That debate is heating up fast. What fixes are on the table? 2-crew solution. Rotate one NBA officiating trio into every Fever telecast through August. Pros. Instant credibility. Cons. Optic nightmare for every other star player. Mid-season rule point of emphasis. Copy FIBA's 2024 fix. Automatic whistle on any hold that impedes movement beyond the arc. Pros. Consistent. Cons. Requires training 42 officials mid-flight. Enhanced video review window. Extend coach's challenge to the final 3 minutes. Add a booth-initiated review for flagrant level contact.
How the F is someone supposed to score when this is what is being allowed to happen to Caitlin Clark on the regular? How the F is this defense? Is this the WNBA or NFL? Look, hold on now. NFL. What kind of defense is this?
Like, there are people around this league, including people heavily involved in the league, that don't know the sport of basketball. Like, there's a big difference between physical play and hacking. And just going around hacking people. Like, that's not physical play. That's fouling. There's a difference. Do you want to know what physical play is? Physical play is, allowing both post players to bang in. But if the fouls start, knocking them out, if the foul causes a travel, or if the foul ends up moving them a bit too much, or the foul, hits them in the arm, yeah, it's free throws. But, you are allowed shove guards, but post players, literally, everything post players do is a foul. For some reason, they are super soft on post players.
Hammond would cheer. Purists would groan about game length. Union-monitored foul audit, post-game public report of missed shooting fouls on high-usage players. Transparency fuels accountability, but risks ref harassment. None are simple, yet doing nothing courts disaster. Corporate partners who bet $200 million on expansion expect star availability, not weekly bruise galleries. And hanging over every boardroom PowerPoint is one rookie's 8-second soundbite that won't fade away. the whistle, or the wasteland. The evidence is now carved into highlight reels, injury reports, and Paige Bueckers' plain-spoken confession. This isn't a debate about whether Caitlin Clark absorbs too much uncalled contact. It's about how long the W will gamble on silence. Protecting Clark isn't pampering a fragile flower. It's safeguarding an investment fans have already validated with record ratings and sold-out crowds. It's defending the very idea that talent, not tolerated violence, should decide outcomes. Paige Bueckers didn't script a league-wide scandal. She simply refused to lie about what her eyes and bruises confirmed. And by doing so, she forced every stakeholder to pick a side. Blow the whistle and evolve, or ignore the bruises and pray the cash cow keeps walking. The next foul, called or ignored, will answer that question louder than any microphone. Until then, the ball is in the league's court, the cameras are rolling, and the silence, for once, has been broken.
This is not okay, folks. This is not okay. She's grabbing breast. In case I'm... they hate it when I say the word breast. The Angel Reason. They'll cut this out and put it up there. I'm not the one doing it. And the referees, I guess, didn't call this? You didn't call this.